What is up, my friends? How are we? And you are very welcome along to tonight's Late Night Agenda, where, of course, it is now officially Florian Friday. I hope that you're all in good spirits. Of course, the news broke when I was fast asleep, but fear not, Mr. Connor Crosby came into the rescue to let you guys know that we had finally got everybody on the same page. The deal is going to be 116 Great British pounds, meaning if all the add-ons are achieved, it will be a record transfer. I thought I'd break out the theme song tonight because it's been a while, it's been a while. Seen a couple of people in the chat asking who sings it. It ain't me, it's AI in all honesty, and one of our viewers kindly made the song for us and sent it over, and on special occasions we like to break it out because today is one of those. I'm absolutely buzzing, I am. I mean, we get to celebrate this again now. And tonight we're going to look at centre-back options. We're going to speak about when we can expect Milos Kerkez to arrive over for his medical. We're going to look through some of the numbers and information around the Florian Wirtz deal. But most importantly, my friends, it is Friday. The good news is your weekend has officially started and you're very welcome along. Right, let's get stuck into it. Loads to get through straight away. I did see Paul Devonish. Thank you, mate, for becoming a member. Noticed that one just before we went live. Much appreciated, sir. Zumzi. Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated. Look, what a night, what a day, what a time. It is glorious to be here again, celebrating a momentous day for the club because we've taken care of business. I think that's fair to say. David. Great news for Liverpool from Florian Wirtz, up the Reds. So looking forward to the new season. It's going to feel like an eternity, isn't it, until the new season gets underway. But yeah, it's so exciting. Look, we've got the hat-trick of deals that we're going to get done early doors in the window. Jeremy Frimpong already signed, sealed and delivered. Florian Wirtz, this situation's interesting because technically he's on holidays till Wednesday, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did fly in a little bit early to try and get the medical and stuff out of the way and then head back off on more holidays because, they're entitled to the 4 weeks. Then we're going to ask the question, when can we expect Milos Kerkez? Well, probably by the end of next week as well. I'd be very surprised if we're not sitting here by next weekend talking about the hat-trick of signings done early doors. And then, of course, we'll look ahead to central defence. We'll look at strikers. We'll look at who may be leaving the football club. But for now, I think everybody can take that big, deep breath and sigh of relief because no matter what else happens, he's going to become a Liverpool player. We've got Ornstein, we've got Joyce, we've got Romano, we've got Plettenberg, we've got absolutely everybody saying that this deal is agreed now. So any lingering doubts surely are extinguished. David, lovely to see you as always, my friend. Appreciate your win. I hope you're having a good day. I'm confident about Canade signing a new deal, said Brad Larkin. I'm quietly confident on that one as well, Brad. Look, I've got no indications that it's imminent or I don't know anything about the contract extension, but certainly you would think twice about leaving Liverpool right now, wouldn't you, with the direction that we're going in. Obviously, about to break the British transfer record for Wirtz, got Virgil van Dijk tied up, Mohamed Salah tied up, Jeremy Frimpong in, a manager that's just delivered the Premier League title. I think, if I'm Ebo, I'm looking around going, yeah, I like where I'm at here. So, yeah, hopefully that gets done. Leave him to enjoy his holiday. He'll be going straight back on one. So even if he does come in a few days early, he'll be straight back out on holiday anyway. And I thought about it, right? If I was in his shoes, I'd want to do the medical earlier because then you don't have to worry about tripping over and hurting your ankle on holiday or standing on a piece of broken glass or anything that might impact the medical. I just want to get it done, to be honest with you, so I could then go and enjoy my holiday. Well done to Mr. Hughes and Edwards. Keep delivering the goods, said Stevie Boy. Yeah, no complaints from me, sir, about this transfer. Again, it's a fee that I think some people think is a little bit on the high side. And by some people, I mean anybody whose name rhymes with Schmurry and Schmettenberg and is a little bit salty about the fact that Bayern didn't get their boy. I do love the saltiness that's been on display, by the way. It almost felt like it broke Sky's heart today to actually speak about Liverpool and Wirtz on the news. They had many Manchester United stories they wanted to run with, but, Liverpool and all that. Alvarez next, said Ian LFC. Oh, I don't know about that one, dude. I don't know about that one. I love Julian Alvarez, but I'm not overly confident that we're going to see it happen. But I tell you what, looking at the media today, it certainly feels a little bit like things are trending towards Hugo Ekitike. Now, again, I have no information on this. I'm not saying he's going to be the one, but it does look like we're trending in that direction with a lot of the stories doing the rounds today. James, LFC, thank you, mate, for being with us as a member for 9 months, said Florian Friday. Yep. And we also found out today that his middle name is Richard. So there's a cool nickname I'd love to give him there. But, I might get demonetized if I say, shorten down Richard. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah, that's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Florian Richard Wirtz. Wouldn't have guessed that would have been his middle name now, but there you go. Carl said, any updates on the striker? Well, as I've always said, mate, I'm not going to be the one to tell you who Liverpool are after there unless something falls into my lap, because truly, I just don't know at the minute. But there are plenty of stories saying Chelsea, as an example, are opening talks with Stuttgart for Nick Woltemade. Then we've got stories from the likes of Florian Plettenberg that say Liverpool certainly are interested in Hugo Ekitike, and he knows that he'll have to wait a while if Liverpool is to be his destination, because the Reds have to sell Darwin Nunez. So, yeah, that Victor Osimhen's name has been doing the rounds a little bit today as well. Give Me Sport said that Liverpool are considering a move for the Napoli striker. I just don't know. Now, we did ask a poll in our Anfield Agenda WhatsApp channel saying which striker would you like Liverpool to sign? And, unsurprisingly, with the list of names that we gave in there, Alexander Isak, if possible, was the one that Liverpool fans in our community anyway would ideally like to see happen. John Duran said, Alex, that's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. It would be a loan if it was possible, because, they're going to want to get him out of there to make him happy again, because apparently he's not happy with life over in Saudi and it's impacting his well-being, according to reports. So if you could bring him in on loan for a year, if we couldn't get the number one target, like I've said, I wouldn't be against it personally. So you would want an option, a concrete option in that deal, though, because what you wouldn't want to do is bring him over, have him do really well for Liverpool, only for the price to be bumped up for somebody else or to increase the value for somebody else. So let's wait and see. But look, truth is, I do not know who Liverpool are going to bring in the striker position. I would be an out-and-out liar if I told you I did. This is interesting, though, from Paul Gorst. Wirtz is being viewed internally as somebody with a similar standing as the £75 million Virgil van Dijk and the £65 million Alisson Becker, two players who accelerated charge for major trophies following their additions in 2018. Florian Plettenberg on Hugo Ekitike said Liverpool see themselves having a very good chance in the race to sign Hugo Ekitike. However, they have clearly signalled that they will need some time, and sales, including Darwin Nunez, need to happen first, and Ekitike is aware of this. So what we do know from Hugo Ekitike, according to many reports, is that yes, he has options on the table. Liverpool have been an option. Manchester United are apparently an option. Although, come on. And on top of that, Chelsea are an option. But he looks like he's waiting to see how the window develops and knows that the asking price from Frankfurt is €100 million. That doesn't seem to be up for debate at this moment in time. But will Liverpool make a play? Well, like Florian Plettenberg said, it may come down to how soon we move Darwin Nunez on. But let's wait and see. I really just don't know if he's going to be the guy through the middle or not, but the name isn't going away. Right, Jamius. I'm curious to know what was the signing we made that got people buzzing like this. Open question to all. For me, oh God, what would have been the signing? It's got to be Virgil for me, mate. That would be the one for me, Jamius. That would be the one for me that got me really excited. I'll never forget the picture of Virgil holding the jersey in front of the Christmas tree, especially after we made a mess of the end of the summer window, the whole Blackpool stuff. So for me, and I think it was James Pearce who posted that at the time, or at least that's where I'd seen it. That's the one that got me most excited. But great question to put to the chat, my man. Although I love Osimhen, it sounds like one of those unrealistic signings, but I could be wrong. Have you seen Spurs trying to hijack Mbeumo? I did say, Brad, now give me my credit, I did say if I'm a United fan, I'm going to be watching that situation with Thomas Frank, because Mbeumo is offered Champions League football with Spurs and a manager that he knows can get the best out of him. So I've always said keep an eye on that situation, because I feel like Brian Mbeumo could end up at Spurs. So Yeah, it is interesting to see. And they'd also probably have more financial ability to go out and get that deal done now than United. I don't understand where they're getting this money from, though. So they've got Matheus Cunha in. He signed his contract yesterday. Spoke about growing up support Manchester United. Gave it the full Robbie Keane. And now it looks like they are looking for a wide player. And also they've been linked with our boy, Hugo Ekitike. I don't know how on earth they could come up with that money, though. And why would he go there, in all honesty? Like I said, no Champions League or European football. Even if he stayed at Frankfurt, sure, he'd still have the Champions League. Does the amount of injuries Isak have worry me? Yes, 100%, Carl. And I think if anybody said it doesn't worry them, I think they'd be a little bit foolish, to be honest with you. Look at Newcastle's end to the season. There were days there where he wasn't available in pivotal games for Newcastle. And nobody wants to be injured, and nobody's certainly trying to say he's injured on purpose. But when you're commanding a fee, the likes of which Newcastle will be asking, I think if you're spending that much money, you'd have to take into account the fact that he has a history of having some injuries. Florian Wirtz, as an example, has missed 5 league games over the past 2 years. That's not too shabby at all. So you can see that Liverpool looked at him, even allowing for the fact with the ACL that he did, I think, 4 years ago. He's recovered from that really well and seems to be an ever-present in that Leverkusen team. If you're going to spend upwards of £100 million on a striker that has a bit of a checkered injury record, yeah, I'd be a liar, mate, if I said it doesn't worry me. United will end up with Calvert-Lewin. That would be hilarious. It really would. They saved money on the barbecue. Yeah, that's fair, David. They did save money on the barbecue. But don't forget, Ineos are being sued by Spurs now as well. Because that sponsorship agreement was cancelled. And there's news in the papers today that Spurs are taking Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe to court. So keep an eye on that situation as well. Isak could fail a medical if they had a cause for concern, especially at 100 million. Well, I don't think he'd fail a medical, but I think it's a fair question that was asked by Carl. You know, would it concern us? Because let me ask the chat that. That's a good first poll of the night, Carl. So let's get going. By the way, I'm too hyped up tonight. I'm sorry, I just am. I'm like a child who's had too much Fanta. That's how hyped up I am this evening. So, Oh, no, I'm going to move my mic away because I can type better without that. Right, so does Isak having injury concerns worry you? So we'll see what people think on that one. We'll come back to it in a few minutes, but I think it's a good question, Carl, to kick us off tonight. Schmungus, how are we, sir? Said, United can't get better ovens to cook their chicken all the way through. Facts. Keep their fans dry, but they can sign players. Ratty club. Yeah, it does look weird. Like, to some extent, I guess they do have to get things right on the pitch because that leads everything else. But it does feel a little bit like they've got a facade up at the minute of this nice shiny thing. But when you look, and like if you're going in to look at a house and you're doing the structural view and stuff beforehand, you'd certainly think it's built on shaky foundations at the minute. Tony, Isak or Gordon? Well, obviously two very different positions, Tony. I think Gordon is far more likely than Isak, if I'm being honest with you. But again, that could come down to what happens with Lucho. There's been more talk today that Barca are trying to figure out now if they can go back in for Nico Williams. And this confuses the hell out of me because 1 minute they're all in on our boy Diaz. Another minute then they're second guessing and going back, oh, well, we might like Nico Williams if the wages can be lowered a little bit. Somebody in our Discord group actually shared Barcelona's wage bill last night. It's astonishing. Like, Robert Lewandowski's on about just shy of €700,000 per week. It's scandalous the amount of money they're paying some of their players. So, yeah, look, they just need to make up their mind because what Liverpool aren't going to allow to happen with Diaz is this to drag on towards the end of the summer because they won't have time to replace. So if Barcelona are serious and they've got the funds, then they best put their best foot forward and see what Liverpool say on it. But for me, if we do lose Diaz, I think Gordon's certainly one that I think is a distinct possibility. We've got plenty of players as injury prone as Isak who've been massively improved by the new staff. Do we? Don't know about that one, to be honest, mate. I'm looking through Canade, maybe. But we didn't pay upwards of 100 million for these players that are currently at the club. And I'm sure Liverpool's sports science team is as good as anybody else's, but I still think it's right to have a concern. Certainly, I'd be using it in leverage for a negotiation if I was Liverpool trying to talk to Newcastle. Do you think the Liverpool medical team can sort out the injury problems with Isak? I mean, look, I haven't got a clue, mate. You know, I'm not qualified to give you a yes or no on that one. But like our friend Joe said a moment ago, certainly feels like we got through this season without picking up some huge injury. So in that regard, if you look at the availability for Arne Slot of Feyenoord working with Ruben Peters, I think they had 90 plus percentage of first team players available throughout the season. So yeah, certainly not a bad medical team. Let's put it that way. Do you think Spurs have gone in hoping to make up money over the next 3 years to avoid PSR? Oh, do you think United, sorry Dave, sorry. Do you think United have gone in hoping to make up money over the next 3 years to avoid PSR? I don't know, but them not getting the Champions League this season was supposed to be a huge problem for them, right? And now, Dave, we've seen, 62.5 million from Matheus Cunha. They're keeping Bruno Fernandes, so that no 100 million from Saudi there. Then Marcus Rashford apparently will only join Barcelona, so, that's them fucked with Marcus Rashford. On top of that, then you've got the other players they're looking to bring in and players that they want to move on who are on both high wages and that cost them a fortune. So I'm still waiting to see when any of these clubs actually do get the comeuppance that their frivolous spending has led to. But let's wait and see. Sheriff Torchwood, how are you, sir? James, what's this? James Caps Mark Ritterex says hi. I'm looking forward to seeing Wirtz joining up with Mo Salah now that Wirtz is with Liverpool. I can't wait to see him. Honestly, I can't. And again, I know I keep bringing this up, but that Florian Plettenberg interview on Sky Sports earlier on, if you haven't seen it, just look at it. It's just saltiness personified. Saying he thinks Liverpool have overpaid. He thinks that he's not ready for the Premier League physically. He thinks Bayern Munich wouldn't have gone that high. Excuse me? The what? You paid €100 million for Harry Kane, mate. Trying to make out like Bayern are this, very steady ship that doesn't frivolously spend money. You just got too arrogant about it. And unfortunately, Wirtz liked the plan that was put to him by Arne Slot in Liverpool. And you can just stick that saltiness into whatever you like and do whatever you like with it. But either way, it made my day. You couldn't hide it. It was just beautiful to see. You just could not hide his contempt for the fact that Wirtz is coming to Liverpool. It was glorious to watch. So many dang lever, said Liz. It's such BS. It is such BS. And again, Barcelona don't have the Club World Cup lever to be tugging on either. So it'll be interesting to see if they do have the money. But look, let's go through some of the news because there's plenty to go through. Again, we got some confirmation here today from Bench Bochak around this thing about Giovanni Bronkhorst, coming in as Arne Slot's new assistant. Ben said one thing to note about Giovanni van Bronckhorst is his track record with fullbacks. He played as a fullback himself and scored 75 goals in his playing career at Feyenoord. He was an influential figure in the development of Rick Karsdorp, who provided 18 goals and assists in 2 seasons. So we look like we're bringing in a coach there who will certainly be able to give some good insight to the fullbacks. Young Connor Bradley, Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez across on the other side, Andy Robertson. Exciting stuff. So let's take you through what some of the journos have been saying, and then we'll look back into some of the other news. So let's start off with Kicker over in Germany. Florian Wirtz move to Liverpool is a done deal. The Reds have reached an agreement with Bayer on the transfer fee. The English club have put together a package including bonuses of around €150 million, which is incorrect. It's actually about €134 million. Another report from Germany said after the German runners-up and Liverpool had come decisively closer together last Friday, the final hurdles have now been cleared. The English champions have put together a transfer package. This includes easily achievable bonuses as well as those highly dependent on sporting success. On top of that, we've got Ben Jacobs, who, to be fair, credit Ben Jacobs on this one. He was the first one today out of all of them to come out with the story. I think it was about 5 minutes before anybody else. Liverpool reached an agreement in principle with Leverkusen for Florian Wirtz, £100 million guaranteed and £16 million in add-ons. The vast majority of the £16 million is linked to Liverpool winning major trophies and Wirtz being in the team while achieving it. Paul Joyce then came out and said Liverpool have agreed a deal with Bayer Leverkusen for Florian Wirtz that could set a new British transfer record of £116 million. The fee is split between £100 million guaranteed and bonuses of up to £16 million. Again, Lewis Steele said the same thing. Liverpool have agreed a club record deal to sign German superstar Florian Wirtz for a package that could rise to £116 million. David Ornstein then said Liverpool have agreed a fee of €136.3 million or £116 million to sign Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. My favourite one of the whole lot, though, is a post from Lewis Steele that said the €150 million fee widely banded around was never on the table for Liverpool. As written last week, Leverkusen were holding out for a package worth up to £120 million inclusive of bonuses, and these will only be achieved by Liverpool winning, for want of a better phrase, the lot. So there we go. For those bonuses to be triggered, Liverpool are going to have to have won a lot of stuff, and at that point, I think the man will have paid for himself. Right, where are we at? Elmir, FSG reporters exclusives on Wirtz like it's news. Yeah, I know, but let them have their moment, mate. You know, let the Dweeb squad have their moment. Nairo said, did you hear about the air crash in India? I did, of course, mate, and we send our sincere condolences. 30 seconds after takeoff, you know, one survivor. It's scary stuff, but yeah, again, sending all of our love to those impacted and affected. It's never anything you want to read or see, is it? David said Rafinha for Diaz. I don't want Rafinha. In all honesty, I really don't. I think Liverpool can find other targets on the left side. And I don't think Rafinha will want to leave Barcelona. He really, really seems to like life there, and has done well there this season. So Stevie Boy said, for all the attacking players we're linked to, any danger of a centre-back coming in? Well, we do have a little bit on that one for you, my man. Let me just talk about a story doing the rounds today, saying that Liverpool are reportedly set to make a move for Gonçalo Inácio of Sporting Lisbon. Now, that is from Caught Offside, so I would say take it with a pinch of salt, but certainly a name, at least today, that's come into the mix. Tom Goldsworthy said, Man United had to pay 89 million and 148 million next summer for past deals. Yep, unless they can move some of those guys on, which of course would help out with that. But you are right, mate. They do have committals to pay a lot of money over the next year or two. Aaron. How are we, Aaron? So happy for Wirtz and the whole transfer window so far. If everybody stays fit and works hard, we should win the lot. Thanks and much love, Craig. Mate, my pleasure. I love that everybody was so kind, by the way, in the comments to Connor earlier on. I love that he jumps on and does these early videos now when I'm asleep. So, again, shout out to Mr. Connor Crosby for that one earlier on. And thank you guys for watching and being so kind as well in the comments. Kelly, how are we, my friend? Evening, young Craig. You always get me with that one, Kelly. Got my 25-26 season shirt already. Thinking of having Craig on the back. I wouldn't, I wouldn't. I'd go with Wirtz. Or just Anfield Agenda would work, wouldn't it? Yeah, Anfield Agenda works. But I appreciate that, Kelly. Thank you. And I hope that you're having a good weekend so far. Schmungus said, bit silly, but how will the 2 game day work? Same as last summer. Last summer, though, they did put the fans out after the first one and then come back behind closed doors for the second one. But it'll just be a mixture of 2 teams. Probably one that's getting closer to the one that's going to be the starting 11 for the opener of the season. And then I think another one maybe... I would expect the starters to play in the earlier game. giving them a little bit more time to recover. And then I think a mixture of youth and up-and-coming or fringe players for the second one. Same again with the selection for Athletic Club Bilbao. Carl, how did you find out Wirtz had signed? Well, he hasn't signed. Yeah, so I haven't found that out yet. How did I find out about the deal? Germany. My source on this one was German-based in the main. And then when you get this bit of information, you try to cross-reference it and see if others have heard similar. But for me on this one, yeah, it was the German side of it for me. Gary said, hey, Craig, hopefully John Henry hasn't found his wallet and we can get that number 9 and backup defender. In all honesty, Gary, I've always expected the number 9 partly to be funded from selling Darwin. And I'm absolutely okay with that. You know, we've come out of the blocks early doors, getting Wirtz in, got Frimpong in, we'll have Kerkez in by the end of next week. And that's a substantial outlay. Like, what are we, 116, let's say 44 to round it up even for Kerkez. So that's what, 160. And then what was Frimpong, about £30 million? So that's about £190 million dropped already. And by the way, we're able to do that because of the miserly way we've been in windows previous to this. So after that, yeah, man, I do expect to see some players leaving to help cushion and free up some wage room as well. But yeah, we will get the positions we need. I've no doubt about that in this window. Matthew said, so it's technically not a record until we win. Yeah, I guess. It depends what outlet wants to cover it in what particular way. Some like to go with the baseline figures of what is guaranteed up front. Others like to throw out there all the potential add-ons as well. Just look at the Darwin Nunez deal as a good example of this. Lots of people still saying €100 million, but the actual fact of the matter is that we didn't spend the £85 million. It was about 71, I think, that's been spent so far on Darwin. Yes, very much so, Russ, my man, very much so. There's been lots of saltiness around over the past week. Lots of revisiting and reinventing how good a player he is. Oh, yeah, he's not that good. Oh, yeah, he is. He is. You're right, mate. Let them be salty. They could be salty in second place next season. What's considered a failure for Liverpool next season? Oh, God, Jorge or George. What would be considered a failure? So for me, the very basic level of next season that would be acceptable would be obviously making sure that we get out of the Champions League format into the knockout stages and a bit further than we did this season. Making sure that we're in the top 3 in the Premier League again, because I'm never arrogant enough to just assume we're going to go and win it. And you'd like to see us pick up some piece of silverware next season. But if I'm being honest with the investment we've had and the fact that a lot of the team have been kept together and Arne Slot knows the league a bit, certainly I'm going into it hopeful of one of the big ones. Liz said that Connor kid doesn't suck. There's a joke in there, Liz, somewhere, isn't there? Yeah, look, it's great. I appreciate that he jumps on when the news comes out as well, because they were only ever able to get me out of bed once, Liz, early in the morning, and that was the day that Jurgen Klopp announced he was going to leave because, you know, they had a committee meeting and decided it was time to get me out of the bed for that one. Oh, sorry, you meant this morning. Oh, always when I wake up, Carl, first thing I do is look at the notifications on my phone, and I usually see them straight away then. And I remember the first thing I'd seen this morning was Connor posting into the WhatsApp channel with Joycey, and that was my first indication that yes, it had been fully agreed now at this point. So yeah, that was what I seen this morning. Connor just posting into the WhatsApp. Ryan, Craig, if you told me we would get Frimpong, Kerkez and Wirtz, I would have been satisfied about hearing we want more is good to hear. I wouldn't have been satisfied because we still have squad depth issues. So for me, if we get through this window with a right back, a centre back, a left back, Wirtz obviously, and a striker, I'm good. Anything else may be contingent on sale. So if we lose Diaz, replace him. But yeah, I'm good, my man. And like you said, this is an incredible start to the window. And it does look like we'll have Milos Kerkez in by the end of next week. Lots of journalists today saying that Liverpool's attention is switching up there. Right. Oh, so this report saying one of the largest media outlets in Saudi Arabia is saying Michael Edwards has verbally agreed to join Al Hilal, but not a full confirmation. In the event that he cannot get this confirmation, they've identified a Spanish executive as an option. Let's wait and see. Well, again, there's been lots of praise in and around the deal that we have struck for Richard Hughes. Let me see if I can find the notes on this one. Bear with me. I'm just trying to find the exact story on this one for you. Nope. Sorry, I'm going through all of my notes here trying to find this precise story. Can't find it. This piece here, by the way, said Florian Wirtz would have earned more by going to Bayern Munich this summer, for example, but as his heart set on a move to Liverpool and has already been to Cheshire house hunting. There was a story, though, that said what a massive role Richard Hughes played in all of this, and that he was spoken about in the industry as the best in the business. So let's wait and see on that one. But certainly not a bad thing to see Richard Hughes being spoken about in such a positive way. And he did get this deal over the line. So credit where it's due. Still trying to find the notes on this one, though. Here's one from Peter Botts in 2024 said, in the first training session at 16 years of age, watching Florian Wirtz, he didn't lose the ball once. I watched him and I couldn't believe it. What was this? Every difficult pass, he got it out with one touch. He said, wow, mark my words, he will be the best player in the world one day. He will win the Ballon d'Or. And I agree that he can win a Ballon d'Or. That's how good I think this kid is. It might take a little bit. I'm not expecting it in year one, but we're bringing in somebody that is considered, maybe along with Jamal Musiala, one of the two best young attacking midfielders in the world, probably. Where am I at? This one. TOTT2KZ1. How are we, mate? And hopefully the cameo video was okay for you. I appreciate your support as always, my man. Happy Wirtz Day to you. Hope Wirtz. Happy Wirtz Day. Just a quick note to say thank you for the cameo video. Father loved it. Loved you and the fam. My pleasure, mate. Appreciate your support. I do. And if anybody else would like me to call their father or anything, or say Happy Father's Day or anything else, again, cameo link is in the description. Andrew said, hi Craig, hope you're well. Please keep me in your thoughts. I'm struggling with my mental health. Would you take Nico Schlotterbeck? Well, firstly, Andrew, I do hope your mental health picks up, mate. What I've learned in life for me is it's ups and downs. You know, I'll go through a period where I have weeks of being brilliant, and then, like, you know yourself, these things just flick on a switch and sometimes you're just down a little bit. I do hope, mate, that we can put a smile in your face at least over this weekend. And with regards to Schlotterbeck, I don't know that much about him, having not watched that much of him, but he's certainly been a name that has been mentioned in circles as being an option for Liverpool at centre-back. I think more when we thought we were going to lose Van Dijk, there was a bit more talk of him, but not really sure. Like, being honest, I don't know who the targets are at centre-back and centre-forward. Frank said, love the show. I'd go all out for Branthwaite. I'd love him. Absolutely love him, mate. Especially if they want to sign Ben Doak as well. You know, you could use that as a bit of a make weight in the deal. I'd be very surprised if Everton did sell him to us, especially going into their new stadium and all for the new season. Nope. The goal's still going to be the same size. The offside trap's still going to be the same offside trap. I think, like I've said, me personally, Paul, Darwin's had every chance and under two different coaches. So for me, no, I wouldn't be giving him any more opportunities or looking to keep him around. You know, it's when you've got the journalist like Romano saying it's 100% that he's going to go this summer. That's what I firmly believe as well. Right, so we've had 1,800 votes. We're nearly up towards the 2,000. The opening question tonight is, does Isak having injury worries concern you? If it does, vote yes. If it doesn't, vote no. And again, when we get to the 2,000 votes, we'll check back in. Craig, was Fabrizio wrong on the here we go since reporters are now reporting it's done? See, I get where you're coming from, and I guess the question is what you need yourself to say yes or no. So for me, was he wrong? No. Was he absolutely right? No. But he was right. That email that he said was sent looked like the final details have been agreed. Ultimately, and I don't mean this to be rude whatsoever, I don't care who's first out with it. And as long as we get the player, I'm happy. But Romano's whole thing is being first. That's his whole thing. He doesn't have to wait for club confirmations or doesn't have to leverage relationships at clubs. He just tries to get out there ahead of the rest. So everyone will get things wrong occasionally. I've said this many times. I would never expect any journalist to be 100% right all the time. One journalist, for me, and I'm only giving you my opinion, that has absolutely stunk up the gaff in this summer transfer window is Sasha Taglieri. Absolutely stunk the gaff up. Looks like just piggybacks off other stories and then guesses and hopes. For instance, said €150 million package was agreed like 2 weeks ago or something. It wasn't. Said that he was going to be on a plane in a few hours for his medical after Romano gave the here we go. Absolutely wasn't. He's one person I would say, yeah, just an absolute, in my opinion, full of it. Don't know, never spoke to him, never interacted with him on social media. Just, I wouldn't be hanging my reputation on something he says. Ahmed said breaking news, Napoli and for Nunez. It's not really breaking, to be honest, mate. We've been speaking about the possibility of them being in the mix in the last few days. But look, hopefully a few clubs, Ahmed, put in interest, mate, and we can get the price up a little bit. Did you see who telling everyone FSC are the best and the debate should be over? No, I don't see he who shall not be named. Don't pay any attention to their work anymore. But look, for me, the way I look at this, Andy, about FSG is I only ever wanted FSG to start backing managers in the market. They've done that. Happy days. I've always promised that I will give you honest views. And my honest views, when I call them out, were honest, sincere, and from the heart. But so will my thank yous for what they are now doing. I don't like to complain about our club in any way, but now I feel much happier as a fan. I feel like we're strengthening from a position of strength. I feel like they've got this one right and got it over the line. And they deserve credit for that, as do Hughes and Edwards. And if I didn't give that credit, I'd be an asshole. So, look, again, these people just want to feel superior to others. And that's the Dweeb Squad. And by the way, some people are confused about this. When I say the Dweeb Squad, I absolutely am not talking about Red Men TV. I don't know where that angle came from somebody. No, I'm talking about a particular group of people that cover, as journalists, the Liverpool Football Club, that look down their noses at other people and think that they're super fans and that the rest of us are unserious people whose opinions should be shouted down and ridiculed. That's what I mean when I talk about the Dweeb Squad. The assholes that think they're better than the rest of us. But look, again, we should just be happy right now. It shouldn't be a time for division. It should be a time for celebrating what is a fantastic bit of business by the club. Right, where are we at? Does Isak have an injury concern you? We're only 7 votes away now from ending that one. So let's see if we can get up to the 2,000. And then we will click the end poll button. Nearly there, nearly there. There we go, legends. Right, ladies and gentlemen, 68% of you wonderful guys and girls say yes, that his injury concerns does concern you. And I understand that. I would say I have concerns about them. Would they be enough concerns to stop me signing him if I was Liverpool? I think it would have to be for a price lower than Newcastle are asking. What did you think about the Anfield wrap? Don't know the lads personally. Asked to do some content together a while back. We're told we don't have the right vibe, whatever the fuck that means. But look, I always gave the Anfield wrap credit. I had a tall player subscription a few years back. The only reason I let it lapse was because I was just busy with my own work. I have nothing against them in any way, shape or form. I just don't understand why we get blacklisted by everybody who happens to be from Liverpool. Whether it be the Echo, whether it be the podcast, whether it be the other content creator. It just pisses me off that they're so dismissive of us that, it annoys me. But as a content creator, a group of lads seem really good. Wish them nothing but the best. Right, where are we at? This one. Or have I done this one yet? Sorry, I'm trying to play catch up here. I don't want to miss a super chat from anybody, so apologies while I just scroll back through. This one. Vlahovic for me, Craig. He's class at off the post. Look, I'm always nervy signing somebody from Serie A. I've got to be honest, I am. But I'm happy to go with whoever the club deem the right fit. That's the way I'm looking at this one. If Arne Slot wants Vlahovic, wants Osimhen, wants Ekitike, I'll be on here wishing them the very best. But I truly don't know who we're going after in that regard. Elwin Peter said, from the days of Paul Konchesky to Florian Friday. Woo! Oh, man. Yeah. From the days of Paul Konchesky, Milan Jovanovic, Christian Poulsen, Joe Cole to this, it definitely does feel like a whole different lifetime, doesn't it? Cal said, happy Florian Friday, dude. Really hoping Gomez stays with us and can stay fit. Controversial, but I legit think he's as good as Ibu next to Virgil. Look, I'm a big Joe Gomez fan. I like Joe Gomez. I love the versatility he brings to the team. He's had 10 years or more of service now at Liverpool Football Club, and if Joe is happy to stay around, I'm sure Arne Slot will be more than happy to keep him. But there have been 7 or 8 clubs credited with an interest in him. A number of about 25 million has been mentioned, but I would keep him over, let's say, the likes of Kwanzaa. I'm not a huge Jarell Kwanzaa believer, if I'm being honest with you. I think he regressed this season. Where are we at? This one. Philip, thoughts on Jarell Hatto from Ajax as a backup centre-back? Certainly a very good option because of that versatility as well that you've spoken about. Can play left back, can play centre back. I do think his future will be at centre back when he develops a little bit. Not sure how happy Johnny Heidegger might be if Liverpool come and knocking for one of Ajax, crown jewels. Also, actually, it looks like that Yaros deal could be concluded soon enough to take him on loan from Liverpool to Ajax with, I think they said, an option to buy in that one. Liverpool's number 3 goalkeeper. So we mentioned that a week ago or so. So keep an eye on that one. Right, let's go back into the chat. Keep Jones for sure, said Jeff. Yeah, I agree. Curtis Jones has had his best season for me in a Liverpool shirt so far this season. And full credit to him. He certainly come on under Arne Slot. I think he feels Arne Slot's style maybe suits him a little bit more. Craig, thoughts on Kenan Yildiz, the young Turkish guy playing for Juventus? He looks really good whenever I've watched them. Would be certainly worth looking at and putting consideration in my view. But again, I don't know who we're after in that regard. But yeah, Yildiz does look like somebody who is on the up and up, definitely. Robbie, let me bring this back up on screen for you. Rather have a striker who's Premier League bred than a striker who's not played in the Premier League. So Isak or John Duran would be ideal. Yeah, Duran, the whole Duran thing really interests me. It really does, especially if it was a loan, because it's almost risk-free for us. Let me just play this scenario out in my mind for you. So let's say we sell Darwin Nunez and Liverpool can't get the guy who they think is going to kick us on and is really the solution. I've no problem with the likes of Duran coming in on loan, maybe with an option to buy, and also allowing Jayden Danns one season to see how he gets on, because we'd still have Jota. We'd still have options of other players who can play as a false 9 as well. And I would rather see a loan for a season waiting for a deal that, let's look at Julian Alvarez. There's lots of talk that he wants Atletico Madrid to build a team that's going to really compete for trophies. And if they have a poor season, maybe the landscape for him shifts in 12 months. So I'm open to John Duran. I definitely am, but it would have to be if we couldn't get whoever the target is. Andy, do you think the lack of spending was down to Jurgen Klopp as much as FSG? Also, would give Robbo a short-term deal for his presence in the dressing room? I would make Robbo earn that deal, and I mean that lovingly. Keeping him on the edge like that for a while anyway. Let's see how he starts the season. Because if he has a good season, he could very well play himself into that new deal. But either way, Robbo said that the conversations have sort of started around it. And he's not shirking the challenge of Kerkez coming in either. So, yeah, may the best man win. Ian said, I've subscribed to the WhatsApp channel, Craig. Love that, my man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Almost at 5,000 people in there within the first week, which is incredible. Thank you all so much for joining us. I go to sleep counting goals rather than sheep up the Reds. Do you know what, Peter? Honestly, when I can't sleep, I put my arm out the side of the bed and bounce an imaginary ball to distract myself. An imaginary tennis ball, just at the edge of the bed, bounce, bounce. And that seems to work for me sometimes when my mind won't switch off. Tony, how are we? Tony Houseman said, wouldn't surprise me if during the game Salah pushed centrally and Frimpong moved up, then bring on Bradley. How do you feel about Salah central? Tony, I've been a big fan of the idea of Mo central. Put him in front of goal, where he can do the most damage. I think it'll be interesting to see if we change up how many underlapping runs, let's say, we utilise. Bradley has been very good at those underlapping runs when he's been there. We've also seen Dominic Szoboszlai being pretty good about dragging defenders out of place as well with his runs. His positioning next season is also going to be interesting. We got a little look at him on the right side of midfield, and I get a feeling that's a little hint to where he's going to be next season. What about Victor Boniface? Not seeing anything mentioned for him. And honestly, I don't think he's good enough for Liverpool Football Club. I just don't. Mitchell. Hi, Craig. Hope you and the family are good. I just want to say thank you for your content. I look forward to your streams. I'm so glad VVD got his mural, his quality. Look, you never have anything to thank me for. I should be on here every night thanking you guys, stream after stream, day after day, because honestly, I love this. I love that this is my job. I love that I have a community like you guys that are here to support, and I love being able to share these moments together. I was so happy we were live for the Here We Go because I wouldn't want it to be any other way. I'd want us to be on here doing it together. And I've said this. I was speaking with somebody today from another platform that we're talking with about going to do some work with, and everybody I speak to about our channel, they say I like your content, but the next thing that everybody without fail talks about is the community and how good they are and how kind they are. And that means so much to me, especially as a father, looking at the influences on my own kids online. It's great that people can come in here and be themselves, express themselves, and feel like it's a space where we can have a laugh. And I love you all to bits for it, and thank you for making my dreams come true. Could Jonathan David be an option? Yeah, he could be. There's lots of interest from Saudi and Jonathan David as well. Napoli did look at him. I think his wages were a bit of a sticking point on that one. Do you know what? I wanna ask a poll about how long you've been watching the channel, if that's okay. I know it's a little bit different, but just out my own curiosity, I'd like to know how many newbies maybe we have in. So bear with me while I write this one out. Nearly there, folks. Bear with me. Cool. So, how long have you been an Anfield Agenda subscriber? By the way, I'm presuming that you are subscribed. If you aren't, please do hit that button. Less than 6 months, less than a year, or over 5 years. Really interested to see how many new people we have in. And if you are new, very much welcome into our community and thank you for giving us a try. Carl. If you had to choose between a centre back or a striker, who would you pick? I would pick a striker. Let's outscore everyone. Centre back for me, mate. I would, because I don't think we've ever had a problem putting the ball in the back of the net. So for me, I think one injury at centre back and we're up shit creek. That's how I feel about it. So I would like the centre back brought in because we've so many different options that we could do centrally if we needed to make do. Now, like I said, I do want us to address both, but yeah, I prefer the centre back. I think it's a bigger problem for us than striker, personally. Elmir said Sasha couldn't break news with a sledgehammer. Just look back through the account yourself. It's just one gloriously misled guess after another. And I've just found it funny looking at it this summer, personally, because I never paid too much attention to his account before, but it's not been great over this one. Craig Seesum said 3 weeks for me and you've been a game changer. I appreciate you. Do you know what my favourite posts or messages to get from people are? I thought you were an asshole, but then I start watching the channel and I realised you're not. Stuff like that is amazing because I've misjudged people from clips as well. I've done it so many times. So I always understood when people come in and go, not that lad again. But all that whooping and a whan and all, just small moments of what are pretty normal streams most of the time. Right, let's get some more news coming in. Where are we on with this one? I've already done that one. So, Florian Wirtz will earn around 20 million euro a year at Liverpool, plus possible bonuses. That works out at about 380,000 euro per week before bonuses, which I think is about 330,000 pound, something like that. Which, in all honesty, I would expect. If you're bringing in a player over 100 million pound, I would expect them to be one of your top earners, to be fair. So maybe Trent heading off to Madrid and the wage bill that he would have had has helped out here, because I would imagine Frimpong and Bradley are on significantly lower wages. Where are we gone? This one. In my opinion, Frimpong equals right back replace Wirtz equals Trent goals and assists replaced. I think you're not too far off there, Muckrab. I think both of them are going to help with the creativity we've lost out. What a day. Florian, baby. Absolutely. Florian Richard Wirtz is going to be officially a Liverpool player. Greasy Stick, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Craig, all the other channels are just boring. Not talk of food and everything else. I mean, how could you have a YouTube channel and not talk about food? I've often watched other channels, and when I've watched other channels, I feel like some other channels are more about just delivering information, giving their view, and that being the end of it, with an occasional comment or two put in. I've said this from day one, I couldn't do that. I couldn't come on here and talk for an hour without interacting with people because I'm not that interesting and I don't have that much to say. So I always love the interaction. And I came to YouTube cold. I started this not knowing what YouTubers or football YouTubers really did. So it came natural to me just to interact with everybody. And it's been the cornerstone of everything we've done since. Community and interaction is key because you're on this journey with us. We want to make you feel a part of it and make you feel welcomed. Craig, I think Jonathan David or a loan for John Duran wouldn't be a bad idea. Jonathan David, I'm not really sold on, to be honest with you. Duran on loan intrigues me. I can't lie, mate. It does. Others are too professional, where you feel like a friend. To be fair, I think I get what you mean, but I think we're fairly professional as well. I mean, Our setup, I think, is as good as anybody's out there. It could easily move into a real studio with no green screen, but even when we do build a studio, I want it to be green screen because I love the fun that using green screen allows us to do. But yeah, you're my friends. That's the way I think of this. I can't put it any simpler. I come in every night to have a chat with friends. That's the way I think about it. Where are we at? Corn and Pew. I think we're playing a 4-4-2. Wouldn't be surprised if we go for a CDM. Keep our powder dry for a forward. None that are available impress me. Yeah, I'm starting to look around at the likes of Ekitike and think, I don't know, I'm not fully convinced. On the 4-4-2, I don't know if it'll be like a 4-2-2-2 or a 4-3-1-2 or something like that, but it's certainly going to give us so many options of varying up our attack. And the thing that I've constantly said I'm looking forward to most from Florian Wirtz is his ability to find space between the lines, especially against the low block, when that's been a bit of an Achilles heel of ours for a few seasons. Well, many seasons. Greasy Stick said, "Hey Craig, hope you're having a happy Florian Friday." I am, mate. I'm absolutely buzzing. Honestly, I thought we'd have a huge crowd in tonight celebrating the news, but maybe people are flurrying out a little bit, but it gives us more chance to interact and have a chat with each other. So yeah, I'm buzzing. Honestly, it's my day off tomorrow as well, and I am very relieved that this didn't happen tomorrow, because every time I take a day off, something big happens, and it feels like maybe tomorrow now I'll actually get my day off where I can rest up, because it's been a mentally tiring last week or two, but again, in a good way. Started watching in high school, now a senior in university. Nice, Colin. Always proud of your journey, my friend. Always proud of it. And I hope the restaurant for the folks are going well still as well. Michael, so we all love your content and we love coming here to spend time with you. I always find it funny, right? There was one comment on a video earlier on, the one Connor did, where I came on and said, I hate that other guy. You should be the face of the channel. I don't watch with the other guy. And I thought, dickhead, you clicked into this video, not knowing who was in the video and thinking it was going to be me. So the people that profess to hate us but are always in the comments, they're the ones that I find very funny because, you know, again, why are you here if you don't like us? Can I do a Ric Flair woo? Absolutely, Adam. 1 second. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Somebody's ears are gone. Apologies to anyone wearing headphones, but not sorry as well. You know, it's Ric Flair time. Get with the program. Right, so we asked, how long have you been an Anfield Agenda subscriber? And we've had 1,000 votes so far. Less than 6 months is second place. So far, over a year is top of the pile. But yeah, thank you. Do keep voting away in it. I'll leave it up a little bit longer because it's something I'm always intrigued about. Craig, you should do a collab with Duncan Cop Talk. I think I've talked about this before. I've sent a couple of emails to Dunk and got messages back, but very sporadic hearing back from him. I think he must be a busy man. But honestly, I think my days of them collabs are over because they usually don't work well. For instance, there's another content creator that we brought on who never asked us back onto their channel. And stuff like that pisses me off because I've no problem opening up our community to everybody. But when you feel like people are coming in, and this is named at Dunk, by the way, because he doesn't seem like this type of fella at all. But nothing but respect for Dunk, and he seems like a lovely lad. But this other content creator was very much about growing their own brand and not about just coming in for a chat, and stuff like that just doesn't sit well. But again, Dunk is a sound fella, and I watch his videos myself on occasion, absolutely. Carl said, joined when you're just over 100 subscribers. Carl, you were absolutely one of the first, my man. I remember when we did our first ever meetup. I said this story a few times. We did a meetup over in Liverpool at the Beer Keller. It wasn't a show we're at, and we just did a meetup for the last game of the season. And Carl, I got there, and as soon as I got there, I was told that Carl had put money behind the bar to get people a drink. He's just a legend. I appreciate it, Carl. And yeah, like we've said the other day, what is it on your streak now? 46 months or something like that? It's incredible. have been watching from Namibia for about 2 years now. I've always dreamed of going to Namibia on a safari. You know, a lot of people talk about South Africa and all. Namibia has always been the one for me that I've had a dream of going on a safari. Obviously, just to observe the animals. I've no interest in shooting any of them. Just would love to go on a safari to Namibia and see the beautiful landscape and animals that, you know, I'd only ever get to see in a zoo. Right, where are we at? Let's get some more news, because I feel like I've glossed over some of the stuff on Milos. So let's get into talking a little bit about Mr. Milos Kerkez. Right. Oh, actually, two other things that we mentioned earlier on. So Liverpool are one of 7 Premier League clubs who are keeping an eye on Chris Rigg of Sunderland, a young winger. I have no idea if this guy's ready to come and play at a club like Liverpool. Some people who are a lot more in the know on Sunderland stuff think he's not quite there yet. But it might be interesting if Liverpool were to buy him and loan him back to Sunderland and see how he gets on. But that, again, this source here said Manchester United, Arsenal, Everton, West Ham, Liverpool all showing interest. Also, one of you legends said to me yesterday about the young Senegalese winger, and it does indeed look like Liverpool are close to finalising that one. So Liverpool are advancing in the signing of Senegalese winger Sidi Barama, 17 years of age, for a fee of about €1 million, and credit anything Liverpool for that post. So, who wants a bit of a plane tracking conversation? Do you want to talk planes? We talk planes for a minute? We haven't done any plane spotting for a while. On Tuesday, said Nicholas Bieber, a private jet departed Blackpool, where officials often fly from, and landed in Tivat in Montenegro. The previous day, Milos Kerkez posted a picture on Instagram of him at the Bay of Kotor in Montenegro. Yesterday, the same jet flew on to Greece, and today Kerkez posted a new Instagram picture of him basking in the sun in Greece. The private jet then turned around to the UK and landed in Bournemouth. I'm guessing he stayed behind in Greece, but officials travelled onwards. For me, the big thing yesterday came when Milos Kerkez posted the picture of the pool. That is a carbon copy of what Florian did. And it looks like the next step now is for Liverpool to focus on that deal and bring in Milos Kerkez to complete that hat-trick of signings. Where are we at? John, 7 months as a member with us, John. Appreciate your support. Craig, I've been celebrating since Tuesday. Also, I love the way you say Florian Wirtz. It just rolls off your tongue. Have a good weekend, bud. Thank you. I actually went out of my way to try to make sure I could pronounce our record signing's name correctly. And you'll notice I'm not fully there yet. I do drop in. Sometimes I'll say Wirtz, sometimes I'll say Wirtz. I believe Wirtz is the correct one. But yeah, Ekitike, I've been working on that one as well. Kyle Wilson said, thoughts on Giovanni Van Bronckhorst being linked with the coaching role? It looks like it will be him, by the way, Kyle, based off Paul Joyce's reports and lots of others. It's not my place to say who the best fit for Arne Slot's staff is, but, you know, certainly a very credible person to be coming into the football club, somebody with a wealth of experience in football and obviously a fellow Dutchman as well. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Obviously, Johnny Heidinger did a great job and we wish him all the best at Ajax, but I think if he's the guy Arne wants, and it looks like they looked at Dirk Kuyt and a few others, yeah, I wish him all the best and welcome to the greatest football club on the planet. Mick Quinlivan said, hey Craig, looking forward to the Flo and Mo show. I like that, sir. I like that. Been watching since the start. Keep on keeping it real. Appreciate you, Mick. Much love, my friend. Thank you. Can I ask you a weird question? Have I introduced the phrase much love to your lives? Be honest with me now, because I thought this was something that everyone said. But a lot of people said to me that that's one of the catchphrases that they would associate with our channel. That and what is up, my friends? I know so many ladies who hate hearing my voice because they know when they hear what is up, my friends, that it's about to be an hour of a loud Irishman ruining their evening. Right, I think we can end this one. So thank you, by the way, for everyone that voted in the poll. How long have you been an Anfield Agenda subscriber? So most of you guys, 48% that voted, have been here over a year. And I appreciate your support. I really do. And however long you're here, I hope you continue on this journey with us. Muckrab said, I use GIMP more. Nice, nice. Well played, Muckrab. It's a great word. Shenanigans, that's another word that I'd like to use a lot more. There's so many things that I say, though, in day to day that I can't say on here because I'll get in trouble and I'll get demonetized. Specifically, you know, my favorite word. This one. Adam said the community interaction makes this place special. Exactly. But you guys are what makes it special. Not me. I have an easy job. I just come in here and read the comments and have a bit of fun with you. But you guys and the vibe that you bring to the channel are what makes it special. So yeah, much love. Can I say hi to your boy Austin? My pleasure, Daryl. Austin, young man, how are we? Thank you for listening and putting up with me, Austin. I hope that you're a red. I hope you are, young man. And also, I hope you've got a wonderful summer ahead of you. But thank you, Daryl, for your support. And thank you to young Austin as well. I use Clint more, said TB. Nice. Nice. I robbed that Clint thing from Early Doors, where they were talking about Clint Eastwood film in the cinemas, and somebody put the L and the I a little bit too close together. And it's something that just stuck with me ever since. Jinxed it, Craig. Kerkez deal gets done tomorrow. Yeah, I know. And Heavy Metal D said the same. Careful, Craig. You seem to jinx yourself whenever you say it's a day off, but I hope that you will have a good weekend. Rest and chill. I need it. I'm going to have to force myself to take the day off because I'll put out a video because, you know, I can't have a full day off. That's just silliness. But I do need the break tomorrow because I lost a lot of sleep over the last couple of weeks stressing about this deal. And yeah, I've been very relieved over the last few days, to say the least. Paul Nilsson said, I would not be surprised if Nunez and Diaz stay. Diaz, I would agree, Paul. I wouldn't be surprised either way. But Darwin is 100% going out the door, mate. Absolutely 100% going to leave. Let's get a Sting Woo too. I don't know about Sting, mate. Not my wheelhouse. Badruddin said, every time my wife hears your voice, she pulls her headphones on and then she doesn't speak to me till morning. You would be amazed at the amount of apologies I've had to make at our live shows to partners who've been dragged along that are sick to death of the sound of my voice. I get it. I can only apologize. But also, you know, thank you for letting your partners listen to this rambling Irishman. Craig, have you and Connor ever discussed doing a stream together? We've done some. Connor's been on some watch-alongs and that over the years. Couple of things to it. Connor's a naturally quiet person. He's not a very emotional man. Very intelligent, very articulate, very loyal as well is a word I would use, and I mean that in a good way. Connor is he's just not a show person. But he weirdly, he has no problem with it. He'll jump up onto a stage at a live show, no fear, whereas I'll be a bag of nerves. So the truth is, sometimes yes and no, but ultimately, I like this. I like having my time with you. So selfishly, I don't want to share. Christian said, hey Craig, Canada should obviously be next priority, and we know Kerkez is a matter of time. I'd like to hear your thoughts on what you're hearing regarding the first outgoing domino to fall. How many go? So here's what I believe will happen this summer. I believe that Kwanzaa will go. Elliot will go. Kelleher's gone. You know who's gone. Kerkez coming in, I think, will probably see us move on Costas. In midfield, I think just the Elliott one, like I've mentioned. There's a couple of fringe players there. Tyler Morton will probably be sold. I can't see any other big players in midfield moving on unless there's something I just don't know about. Up top, Chiesa, probably likely to go if a club in Italy can put together numbers that are interesting enough for Liverpool, especially if being in a World Cup year, he's going to want to play. Darwin, 100% getting sold. And then Diaz, I think, is a fluid situation that Liverpool are understandably relaxed about because we've got a very good player there, but they will have to have a contingency plan if Barcelona are able to tempt them away. Florian Wirtz, for me, is the perfect mix of Bobby and Coutinho. Yeah, I've been watching so many highlight reels of Florian over the past few days, and it never gets old. They never become less enjoyable. I hope we don't lose Elliot to Badruddin. I think he just understands his career may stall if he stays. And whatever we thought about this season, if you've introduced Florian Wirtz into that midfield as well, it is basically taken Elliot's position, because if you look at Elliot, he's probably one of the few players that we currently have that can find that space between the lines. So I think for him, if you look at his body language at the end of the season, if you listen to his interview since then as well, he'll take his time, he'll think things through, but rightly, footballers have a short career and they need to look at this and think to themselves, it would be a really difficult decision for him to leave Liverpool, because he's a Liverpool fan like the rest of us. And he has been nothing but brilliant for me since he's come in every aspect. I mean, big fan of him as a player, big fan of him as a fella. Love the way he interacts. Seems to have a really kind heart as well. And it'll be, sad to see him go, but he got to go and play. You don't want your career to waste away. He's too young to be sitting on the bench. So it's a heavy heart, but I think it's the right move for his career. Why doesn't Dan's get his chance as a striker? Is it his age? I think, Ken, it's more to do with the injuries. So he's basically missed the whole of this season with a back strain. Even when he had that loan agreed to go up to Sunderland, he never got to get up there. So think of the Stefan Bajcetic situation previously, where he had that really injury-ravaged season. What Liverpool need to see now is that Jayden Danns can maintain match fitness for a season. And whether that's with Sunderland, whether that's in the Championship, or whether that's, I don't know, somewhere else, I think it's the right move, because we can't hang our hat on a centre-forward who I don't think many have doubts about with regards to his quality. But we can't have somebody who can't withstand playing twice a week, or can't withstand playing 40 games a season, as an example. So I think they just need to see that he can keep up that fitness and put the injuries behind him. Did I miss your super chat question? Greasy Stick. Sorry, mate. You didn't put in a question, mate. That's the only thing that's come up. If that's what you're talking about, mate, yeah, you didn't put a question in. Nothing has come up, so apologies. You've read it out, though. You said, which Liverpool player you wish had an injury-free career? Oh God, really good question. I'm going to go back a while, and I'm going to say Rob Jones. Yeah, Rob Jones would probably be one of the answers. You probably expect me to say something like Naby Keita or Harry Kewell, but yeah, Rob Jones for me would have been one that sticks in my mind anyway. Thiago would have been incredible as well, but yeah, I think Rob Jones, maybe looking back at that time, because I honestly think he was such a difference maker and such an incredible defender. Sturridge is a good shout as well. Chamberlain, not so much for me with Chamberlain, but Thiago, yes. Naby Keita, yes. But yeah, that's the one for me, Rob Jones. I feel comfortable with that one. Done that one. This one. Adam said, the community interaction makes this place special. Thank you, bro. Tipsy Dipsy said, jinx the Craig Houlden deal gets done tomorrow. Done that one. This one. The good Kev said, proud to be a member, Craig. Always will be. Thank you. We've got something really cool that we're working on for next season with another platform at the minute. Something that will allow you to play daily fantasy. So for the games we're doing, something that will allow us to show you clips and highlights from some of the games. And again, it's something we've taken our time in dealing with and speaking to this platform. We had another call with them today that was very interesting. And we think we should be able to let you guys know a bit more about it over the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye on it, because I love the idea of being able to play fantasy with you guys and give out prizes and stuff like that. So yeah, let's watch this space because we're genuinely working on stuff that could really change the game. Red Hot Frank said, I saw a post where it says Liverpool spent about 150 million on Wirtz and Frimpong, and Man U spent 150 million on Onana and Anthony. What a time to be a Liverpool fan. Yep, absolutely. It's incredible. And for those people as well saying, oh, Liverpool don't spend money, but yet they had the record for the most expensive goalkeeper, most expensive centre-back. They keep leaving out one really key part of that our big money signings, maybe outside of Darwin, have all worked and have been funded by either sales from Coutinho's point of view for them, and the amount of people trying to undermine the signing of Wirtz is incredible. I think they can all just admit they're scared. That's what they should be doing. LFC Trigger, give Wirtz the number 21 shirt to celebrate league title number 21 next season. I am trying to figure out what shirt he'll wear. If Diaz goes, I'd love him in the 7. 27 is a number, obviously, that Wirtz has worn previously. That is available. 12 is available. 23, I think. Boubacar Kamara as a new CDM. Thoughts? Is that the Aston Villa youngster? Certainly was looked at previously when we were trying to sign Caicedo and that his name was doing the rounds. Don't know if that interest is still there or not, in all honesty. Chris, how are we, dude? Said, happy Florian Friday, man. Loved your honesty from your clips on Facebook. So that's when I started watching. Need advice on good music or food spots in Wexford as I'm heading there just Tuesday to Thursday. Which part of Wexford are you heading to? I'm not going to lie to you, mate. It's not the most glorious county for regards to gastronomical delights. But, I mean, any pub for music, in all honesty. Paddy Blues here in Gorey always has good crack on a Friday, Saturday night with good live music from Mr. Paddy Doyle, who was over in Liverpool with us and in Belfast with us as well as our musical accompaniment. So, yeah, I would say if you're looking for good food, man, I need to know exactly what part of Wexford you're going to be in. I've been watching since 2021. A few people in the comments have asked about how my fundraising is going. Thanks to this amazing community, I'm at £2,800 out of 7,000. Yeah, I'd seen that it would gone up actually, Joe. Yeah, it was $5,500, wasn't it? That the wheelchair basketball chair was going to cost. I know Connor had informed me that the manufacturer's price had gone up to $7,000, and I haven't forgotten, Joe. We do keep planning to push with that, but I'm trying to think of a more creative way that we can expedite it for you and get that fundraising money a bit quicker, mate. So I haven't forgotten, though. I want to make you that promise. And again, thank you to everyone that has helped out so far to get him up to £2,800. But obviously, with the cost of things going up, it is now £7,000. We need to try to get Joe too. Is Michael Edwards going? Report from Yahoo. So there was something posted earlier on that said, from Moby Haig, said that media outlets in Saudi Arabia is saying Michael Edwards has a verbal agreement to join Al Hilal, but not full confirmation. In the event they cannot get this confirmation, they have identified a Spanish executive as an alternative option. That story has been around, not that specific one, but the rumours of an interest in him have been around for a while. I've no idea what to say on it because I don't know if FSG have changed course on wanting to, keep going with the multi-club model, because we haven't seen Edwards buy a club yet in this new role that he's been in. Also, Richard Hughes is taking the lead on a lot of the transfer stories or transfer dealings and stuff. So Liverpool won't leave themselves short, but I don't know of the situation with Edwards. I hope he stays because obviously we know his success rate, but ultimately we'll wait and see what happens. Happy Flow Friday. Ready for the quad. Nice. Be amazing. Next season's going to be great. And I do think we need to get off to a fast start as well, because I can see Chelsea and Manchester City struggling a bit next year with the Club World Cup and a lack of rest for their players. Nick, 50 quid, man. Absolute legend. That's so kind of you, Nick. Thank you. Yeah, really, my man. Thank you. Hi, Craig. How are you doing? Been a long time and been a member, I think, for a year. You are fab, thank you. Genuine, and the channel is brilliant. I've just read that Barcola is being considered by Liverpool. Can you verify? Wishing you and family well. All I can say to you that I've seen is yes, Liverpool's name has been mentioned as being interested, but PSG seem very, very adamant that Bradley Barcola is not for sale. I'm unsure on him. You know, his stats look good on the face of it, but when I've watched them, I find him very wasteful. Gets himself into great positions, obviously a very talented footballer, but if PSG ain't selling, then they ain't selling. I don't know what his thought process is, if he doesn't feel he played enough last season, or maybe Diaz emergence has pushed it on the pecking order a bit or something. I don't really know, but certainly is a name that has been mentioned, Nick. Yes, I just don't know who's the favourite in that position, or my mind keeps saying the same thing. Anthony Gordon is more likely if we need a left-sided player. Although the correct answer, I feel, would be Nico Williams from Bilbao, but I think he ends up elsewhere. Allard van der Giesen said, "What do you think of the youngsters, the likes of Kumas, Nioni, McConnell, Dansdoke, Rio, and Bajcetic?" So Kumas, I'll have to say I'm not really sure about because I haven't watched enough of. That's the only reason I can't give you too much of an answer on that. Trey Neoni, or to give him his full name, Trey Morris Neoni, love him, big fan of his, and can see a bright future for that kid. McConnell, the kindest thing I can say there is whenever I've seen James McConnell play with the senior team, he doesn't look out of place. So yeah, no problem if he's kept around either. Jaden Dans, look, he's an incredible talent and is going to be a star, I fully believe, if he can get the fitness issues right and get the injuries behind him. Doak, I believe, will be sold and you won't see him really get an opportunity in the first team. Rio, superstar in the making, absolute superstar, and maybe the timing of Mo's 2 years in the contract and maybe that being Mo's time to move could ease in him nicely, but certainly a really, really big player. And by Cecic, again, that hamstring surgery at the end of the season, I hope he can get back for pre-season because if he can, it could be a pivotal season for him. If he doesn't get the breakthrough this year at Liverpool, I'd worry for him. Thoughts on the recent Openda news? I don't know of the news, mate. Not trying to undermine what you've said around it. I just don't know the particular news you're talking about. Tiger Maguire, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, bro. Appreciate you. Right, Jack said, who's your favourite player from every section of the field? Right, goalkeeper, obviously Alisson. Defence, Virgil. It's got to be Virgil. Midfield, Maka. I just love Alexis McAllister. And up top, it's got to be Salah, hasn't it? So yeah, those would be Alisson, Virgil, Maka, Salah would be my answers. Also, think Wirtz wears Elliot's 19. Maybe, yeah, if Elliot moves on, maybe. I would hate to see the number 7 if Diaz moved on. I'd hate to see that just lie there idle. Such an incredible number. So yeah, I hope somebody, if Diaz leaves, and if Diaz stays, great, he deserves the 7, but if he moves on, I'd like to see somebody take the number because it's such a big number for us. Any news on Kerkez? Yep, the news is that Liverpool are working on that deal next. They expect the medicals to be completed next week, and by the end of next week, everybody expects that Kerkez, Wirtz, and obviously Frimpong will have all been confirmed and medicals done, contracts sorted, even though Frimpong's already a Liverpool player. Yeah, it seems like they're still waiting for the breakthrough in the negotiation. Now, I don't know where they're at with it, but Liverpool and Bournemouth are hashing out that deal, and Kerkez will become a Liverpool player over the next week. Oh, you meant of all time. Alisson still stays in goal. Virgil still stays in centre-back role, if we're talking about Liverpool. Midfield, all time, Steven Gerrard. It's an easy one there. And up top, oh God. Robbie Fowler or Ian Rush, probably up top, one of those two. Andrew Webb said, what do you think of Job going to Dortmund? Do you think he will be better than Jude? What I think is, and honestly, this was my first thought process when I seen it, what the fuck do the Bellinghams have against the Premier League? That was my first thought, honestly. Because both of them have gone from Championship abroad and not played in the Premier League, which I find very weird, because it's not like they're young players who weren't highly thought of that couldn't have gotten into a Premier League team. You know, Job just got promoted with Sunderland as an example. I can see the appeal of going to Dortmund. It's an incredible club, an incredible fan base in a good league, um, where they've shown is a good pathway for development. But it just feels really weird that we'll have the two Bellingham brothers and neither one of them would have kicked a football in the Premier League. I just find that astonishing. And will he be better than Jude? I've no idea. But to me, Jude's going backwards at the minute rather than forwards. His attitude's shocking on the pitch. The amount of times he's mouthing off. Yeah, he needs to drop that and just get back to concentrating on football, which, you know, he ain't too shabby at. Hope you're well. Love your content. Thank you, Stuart. And thank you for your support of our community, man. Member with us for 5 months as well. Absolute legend. Do you reckon Jota isn't Slot's plans? I certainly don't think he's anywhere near as close to the exit as Darwin is. And we also have to be mindful of not too much change in one window. It does feel like he has the trust of Arne Slot. Certainly if you look at the end of the season we've had this year, when him and Darwin were fit, he was tending to lean towards Diogo over Darwin. So I think we'll likely see him stay around, but he has been linked with moves away, so nothing is impossible. Stephanie Dupree said narcissists, him and Trent. I don't disagree, in all honesty, Stephanie, but I'm just glad we're at the end of this, you know, Trent stuff, because God almighty, I was fed up of it. I have very, very strong feelings on the Trent thing, so much so that I've had to go out of my way to bite my tongue on some stuff, because between him and Pep Linders, I'd have very strong opinions on both of those two situations. Any news on Nunez? Nothing new that I've seen, Chris. We're hoping an offer that works for Liverpool comes in soon. The post the other day from Romano, again, I'll read them both out to you. 1 second. I'm sure you've probably seen them, mate, but just a quick reminder. So we said Darwin Nunez remains a guaranteed exit at Liverpool this summer, with the Saudi Pro League clubs keen since January. Understand Napoli are also made contact in recent days. Darwin is open to both Saudi and European options. I think AC Milan had inquired as well, if I'm not mistaken, about Darwin. And a happy Florian Friday to you too, Jack Quinn. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Happy Florian Friday to you. I'm just glad that it happened today so I can get that rest tomorrow. I can't wait for next season, mate. You'll never walk alone. Same. It's going to be a long summer, Stuart. It's going to be a long summer. To think we're here now in June and, you know, the season doesn't kick off for fully another 2 months. But in 1 month's time, we'll be in the swing of the preseason. So, yeah, don't know if I'm going to do those 2 ridiculously early games, though. You know, you might have to ask Crosby to get up early to do the 2 games in Hong Kong and Japan. There's my dog again. He's a lunatic, an absolute lunatic. Biggie Mall, how are you? Hi, brother Craig. How's the rolling monthly viewership going? Are we still winning the internet? We're doing well, my man. Yeah. We're certainly punching above our weight with regards to our subscriber size compared to the views. We're at about 12 million views for the past 30 days. I think 14 and a half thousand subscribers over the last 30 days. The big surprise to me has been the WhatsApp channel, if I'm being honest with you. When we started that, I thought we might get a few hundred people in it, and I'm being deadly serious. But last count before I came on here, it was about 4,800, and we only have it about a week. So if you do want to join our WhatsApp channel, scan that QR code on your screen right there now, folks. It's completely free and open to everybody. We're going to have some really interesting stuff coming up on there. We gave them a look at our website that Connor's building as well. We gave a little sneak peek on there, and any transfer news that we have, we put it in there before we go live. As well as a little bit of my weird sense of humour with silly stuff. There's going to be some silly stuff in there, so don't expect not to have some silly stuff. But then again, it is Anfield Agenda, who have a pet alien, so... Get Connor AM on the early watch-alongs. I feel like it's tailor-made for him. I do. Yeah, because 10 a.m. starts for me. That's not in my wheelhouse. Doan said bought a ticket to see Wirtz in Japan. Nice, enjoy that, my friend. I'm sure it'll be a great experience. What will happen to Joe Gomez this summer? Said Gakpo18. So there was a report the other day, my friend, that said there were eight clubs interested in him. £25 million was a number that was mentioned as well. So Mark said latest WhatsApp count is 4,839. So we're nearly at 5,000 in the WhatsApp. And also, less than 100 needed to get to 50k on the Clips channel. Thank you, Mark, for that update. If you haven't subscribed to Anfield Agenda Clips channel, please do. Connor's been working really hard on it. Our dream is to get a silver play button for our Clips channel, which would mean getting it to 100,000 subscribers. We don't think this channel will ever get to 1 million. I'm not there yet thinking we'll get to 1 million on here. But our dream is to get a second silver play button for our Clips channel. So if you can, do check out Anfield Agenda Clips. Give it a sub. Robbie Collins, now there is a name that's been around a very long time, Robbie. Thank you, my man. Just come to Anfield Agenda Ultras as well. Robbie Collins has been an OG on this channel, definitely. I remember that name going back. Kai said, Craig, how you doing, bro? Milos Monday, love the channel. This is now a daily thing for me. Appreciate that. Look, it looks like he'll be done by the end of next week. Both these deals should be concluded by the end of next week. Wirtz is on his holiday till Wednesday, but there's been some chatter that he might cut it short, go over, do the medical, do the media stuff, then go back off on holiday for a while. Kerkez, we just have to wait for the agreement between Liverpool and Bournemouth on the fee, and then both of them will become Liverpool players. Robbie, hello man, hope you're doing well. Keep up the brilliant work. I'm good, Robbie, good. Absolutely shattered, to be honest with you, my man. Absolutely shattered, but looking forward to a long night's sleep tonight and a day off tomorrow. So yeah, delighted. But yeah, appreciate you, Robbie. We do have a news video, by the way. We're going to come out with tonight with some stuff I have held back that I haven't spoken about yet. So a news video will be the usual out by about 11 o'clock. So let us know what you think of that one as well. Do I watch Big Brother or Love Island? I watched Big Brother in the early days, and of all those type of reality shows, that's the only one I think I'd ever have gone on, because I'm a real shit house. So stirring the shit in a Big Brother house would be right up my street. Never watched Love Island though. No, never did. I used to watch the Bear Grylls one, whatever that was called. That was cool. But yeah, Big Brother, definitely. That's a bit of me. Who are we looking at in the centre-back position, said Liam? Well, a story from Caught Offside today said that Liverpool were, in their exact words, set to move for Gonzalo Inacio. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know who we're looking at centre-back, like I've said. My knowledge so far ended with the three that I mentioned, Frimpong, Kerkez, Wirtz. After that, I don't have any inside information at the minute. Yeah, The Island with Bear Grylls, that one. That was interesting. I wouldn't have gone on it, but I watched it. Who's the player who you're most excited by but most disappointed with? Harry Kewell. Definitely Harry Kewell. Naby Keita was up there as well, but I remember distinctly how I felt when we signed Harry Kewell, and I thought that was it. I thought he was going to be the one that changed it for us and we'd win a league title. So yeah, I'm going to say definitely Harry Kewell. You're tailor-made for Love Island. Yeah, I looked at me with the beach physique and all. Yeah, a washed up whale on the side or something. No, plus I'm very happily married. I've been with my missus now, 20... We'll be together 25 years in October. Married since 2007. So yeah, 25 years with the missus. Those Choo Bellingham days were fun, regardless of how it ended. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it didn't have the ending that I wanted, but it was fun. You know, I love some of the crazy streams we've had over the years and some of the mad tangents we've gone on. You know, I've often spoken about the Jurassic Gark stream. where we were just coming up with crazy names and stuff. I love those moments where we push football to the side for a bit and just, like the Brest stream earlier on this season. I don't know if you were with us for that one or not, but that it just silliness, but it just made my heart sing. It was so much fun. Benjamin said, where does Honcho and Hyypiä stand in all-time great centre-back partnerships? Where do you think Carroll lies? So Honcho and Hyypiä were two very good centre-backs. Hyypiä, I think, could have played in any era and made a big difference. Alan Hansen, of course, right up there as well. I often think to myself, imagine if we had Sami Hyypiä and Virgil van Dijk together. I mean, best of luck getting past those two giants. Two absolute legends as well. But yeah, we've had some great ones over the years. John Terry and Carvalho at Chelsea, excellent as well. LFC Tyler said, been here 3 years on this beautiful channel. Watch your streams daily now. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to go record the news video, the update news video with the stuff around Gonzalo Inacio and a few other interesting bits and pieces that we have for you, including the stuff on Yaros as well, Michael Edwards and a few other stories. So I probably won't see you tomorrow for a live stream. There will be a news video out at some point. But again, I want to say thank you so much for your support. If you haven't joined the WhatsApp channel, we'll give that QR code on the screen there a scan and look forward to seeing you in there. But ultimately, folks, you guys are amazing. Thank you for an incredible last month with everybody on this journey. And for those of you who've been with us even longer, thank you for your continued support. Chat with you soon. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you live on Sunday, but no doubt I'll have a video out tomorrow.